Alright, so this video is just an update. So I have a couple things I want to speak about. The first thing I want to make a video on is why people sell their souls to the devil for fame and fortune. So I'm just gonna cut straight to the point. In the Bible, there's a story about how Jesus is fasting for 40 days and 40 nights, and eventually the devil comes to him and he tempts him and he says, "Look, bruh, I'll give you the world if you worship me." And Jesus says no, but that leaves little to be thought about the concept of, can someone actually sell their soul to the devil? How does it work? Why? And, you know, why does it seem like everyone who is famous or in Hollywood has some sort of ties with the cult, Freemasonry, or Illuminati? So, first thing I want to bring up is the concept of the Faustian bargain. Now, if you guys don't know, Mr. Faust was a German scientist, I believe, who became very famous for discovering a lot of things intellectually. However, some people came to suspect that his fame and fortune came from the devil, and you know, and Mr. Faust, um, unfortunately, lived his life with that uh, slogan. So now, when people see someone coming up with amassed wealth, you know, they'll seem to speculate like, yo, how did he get that wealth? Did he make a deal with the devil? And that's kind of leading me to the aspect of music, because we see a lot, and I'm not gonna lie, this also affects me as well. A lot of the times I question like whether or not God is the music industry is really of God, and I go back and forth. To be honest, I would say no. And some people can say like, oh, but how come you're making music? Hey man, it's another video for another time. But literally, my whole thing is like, can someone sell a soul to the devil? I believe yes. I believe it can help it happen in a macroscopic way, as we see with celebrities, and then it can happen in a not so macroscopic way, a microscopic way, where we do it every day. For example, someone takes a job down the street and they're compromising the morals. That could essentially be, them selling their souls to the devil. However, I think it's a little bit specific with music, especially given the fact that the Bible does describe Lucifer as the anointed cherub. That he orchestrated the music in heaven essentially, and he rebelled. And a lot of and that gives, because if you don't know, music is very powerful, and the influence that it has on the mind. They've done studies on it. It shows that it changes the brainwaves chemistry. So it would make sense that, speculating that, if Lucifer was this angel in heaven and he fell and he was the worship angel for heaven, it would make sense to see, why the music industry like seems like all of its allegiance is towards Satan. And basically what I want to bring up with that is, damn, what I want to say actually, I can't remember. Hold on. So yeah, basically what I wanted to say is like, it's very interesting. I feel like the angels in heaven, they definitely, uh, some people would say, well, if they're angels, because the Bible just describes it as 1/3. I think it's 1/3, or yeah, it's 1/3 of heaven's angels rebelled, and people can say like, yo, like why? Like, come on, bro. How do you get these angels to rebel? Like, but you gotta think of it. If Lucifer really was so so like anointed and so good with music, like wouldn't it really, because the Bible doesn't really describe him as like the freaking, like one thing about the devil, and what I've realized is that he doesn't come to you in in like he doesn't come to you in the way that you would think he would come to you. comes to you in the way that you like. He doesn't come to you with a pitchfork and I'm sure you guys have heard this. He doesn't come to you with a pitchfork uh, and a pitchfork and underwear. He comes to you as an angel of light. Essentially, is how the Bible describes it. He comes to you with the what I mean, like, as a pretty person, you know, and essentially that's what makes the devil, who's for such a sneaky adversary, is that he doesn't come to you disguised in things that are evil. He comes to you in the things that seem good, the things that are seductive, the things that are hard. I mean, think of the Twinkies. Think of Big Texas, the cinnamon. It tastes so good, bro. I had a Big Texas yesterday. I'm trying to cut back, but I just saw that Big Texas and I was like, damn, bro, that looks so good. I really want to I just want to try it. So lo and behold, one thing led to another, and the next thing I know, I find that I'm freaking knee deep in Texas. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, how the hell did I just go from like saying that I was gonna cut to that, and I'm like, oh fuck. Oh, sorry, excuse my language. Oh shoot, because it was just so tasty. And essentially, what I'm trying to say is like the music that the devil played must have been very good, so the angels would have rebelled, and yeah, they just the music, and that's essentially what I'm saying is like, we just gotta. I'm not even really trying to preach. I'm not even like gonna like for these videos. I'm gonna kind of stop trying to give you guys a message to take away because I really am just nobody. I'm just a man who's, been versed in the Bible. I am a man of God, and I'm just trying to, use my gift or whatever platform I have. Yes, but at the same time, I don't want to come off preaching because I'm not your pastor. I'm just like you. But anyways, so the concept of someone selling their soul, but some people, this goes to the aspect. So we're dealing with the aspect of the seduction. So yeah, I personally do believe that it's true that the devil probably used some sort of music, played a different tune in heaven, and it swayed the angels to rebel because the music was just so good. And they have multiple accounts of people meeting with the devil apparently and selling the quote unquote selling the souls. I mean, if you hear about the 27 Club, like a bunch of musicians died at the age of 27. Jimi Hendrix, Kurt Cobain, like all these, Morrison, like Joplin, like all these like really famous musicians, like all unrelated, happen to just die at the age of 27. And that's further going back to the Faustian bargain, which is like, you know, people making contracts with the devil. And it's, I don't know, man, like, I really believe that that is a real thing. I think that is definitely something that goes on in the music industry, whether or not people know or not. I do definitely think that, and that is partially why I had taken a break from music, like, because the past 3 years I actually had been doing a lot of research, and I want to actually read you, because now I'm about to go into like why would someone do that? Why would someone make that deal, make that oath? But, essentially, you have to kind of think of it from another perspective too. Is like some of these people are dead ass coming from nothing, bro. Imagine being a black man in the South, because you know the story of what's his name, Robert Johnson, who said he went to the crossroads and then he saw the devil, and apparently the story goes he couldn't play for Jack. And then he goes to the crossroads, he plays, the devil tunes his guitar, hands it back to him, and then all of a sudden he's really good and he becomes famous overnight. And he died at the age of 27 too. But essentially, um, yeah, I, essentially like that. It's just crazy, man. Like just the concept of thinking about that. And a lot of you guys probably like, oh well, I don't believe in anything. I'm an atheist. All right, buddy, good for you. That's some of you guys. It's like 1% of you guys, and other you guys are probably like, oh well, I don't necessarily know if Jesus is real, but I do know that something exists. I feel like also this whole thing about people being atheists, I just really don't take people serious when they say that because, bro, the studies have been shown that the odds of this world being coming together just randomly without no intelligence behind it is just very slim to none. But I'm not gonna go into the apologetics behind that because that's not really my thing, and I don't feel like I don't have enough research, but I just know that it just really doesn't make sense. Like, it make more sense for you to say like you don't know, you're agnostic, or you're Buddhist or something like that. But hold up. What's up? Nice haircut.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm a little annoyed about that. She used a puzzle instead of a scissor.
Oh, was it the person that I gave you, like referred you to?
I think the one in the big PX.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think that's the one.
I think it was the wrong one.
Yeah. But it's alright. It doesn't look bad from from what I can see. But
Not too bad.
YouTube. Hold on. Be right back. Anyways, sorry guys, just talking to my roommate. But like I was saying, concept of someone selling their soul from the devil. So I was listening to this band called Suicidal Tendencies. If y'all know it, you'll know it. But the reason why I go up to the musicians is because it seems like, so in the occult, and don't ask me why, but I've done so much research, so it's like whenever someone joins the occult, they essentially have to mention that they are in allegiance to the devil. So a lot of times musicians will put that mention in the song subtly or not so subtly. But anyways, this is the lyrics from Suicidal Tendencies song, You'll Be Sorry / Suicide's an Alternative. And essentially in this portion he's saying, alright, so these are the lyrics. Yeah, I'm just stating. Well, I've got a little story to tell about a man. He said he came from hell. He said Satan's been looking especially out for me. He said Satan's got a paper. He's gonna set my body free. He said power, glory, beep, like witches and screwing all in your name, all for you to stay. Oh yeah, power beats your name, glory and fame. I see the gold and all the riches in your head. He said power, fame, all in your name, all that you wanted, all that you need, all that you want to answer. You agree? Anything that you will ever need, just sign the paper. That's all you do. Just sign the paper. It's ready to anything down here. It's all for you. Just sign the paper. So pretty much dude is talking about how he how he had a conversation with the devil, and he's now tempting him to pretty much sell his soul for fame and fortune. And that ties back to the story that I was mentioning before about Jesus when the devil tried to offer him fame and fortune. So essentially what I'm saying is I don't think it's far-fetched to say that the devil has the ability to offer men and women like worldly riches, in exchange for their eternal destiny, or eternal housing place, their eternal salvation. You gotta think of it, man. In spite of what you believe, you have to at least ponder on the concept of heaven and hell and eternity, because you gotta think of it, man. If Christianity is not real, that's all well and dandy, but if it is, bro, you gotta really be on edge a little bit, because eternity and the concept of heaven or eternity or the concept of hell is forever. It never ends. So picture 1,000 years times 1,000 years times 1,000 years. Same with heaven. So I'm just saying that to bring up the point that, like, it would make sense that, like, you can get a temporary pleasure in this world in exchange for an eternity away from God, and that's all I'm saying is, like, it makes sense that it's not far-fetched is what I personally believe. And in lieu of that, it makes me question, are these people, celebrities that we're looking up to, are they really role models, Are they really people to look up to, Because before I knew this, I just thought it was talent. I thought it was just hard work, I literally, as a kid, I used to think, like, wow, these guys just made it based off of their talent. And don't get me wrong, like, yeah, they are talented, but, who's to say that is even talent, bro? And that leads me to another topic of, like, what genres of music are acceptable. Because if you actually look into the roots of rap, or the roots of, like, rock, it comes from voodoo. And I hate to say this. Bro. But it comes from, like, voodoo and the rhythms of all that. That's why I took a break from rapping, because I was like, bro, because it comes from, like, rhythms of voodoo and all that, Same with the rock and roll stuff. It comes from what is called, I can't remember the phrase. It's like polyrhythms, I think, which is pretty much like, I don't really know the terminology, but it's like the counting is on the 2 and the 4, something like that. But pretty much it's not good. Some people will say, oh, well, the music, there's no such thing as, like, all music is neutral. There's no such thing as music having it's just all music is neutral. But I don't necessarily know if that's true. I wouldn't say all music is neutral, because certain musics have they have an effect on you, on the brain. The rhythm does. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just crazy to think about all these things I've really been considering over the years, and it makes me sad. So this is another song by Kendrick Lamar, and guess what? It's a different genre. The other one was punk rock, guys. The song that I just quoted was punk rock. This is rap. But guess what? The same theme of the devil runs through both of those songs. So here, this is the lyrics. You said your name is Lucy. I said, where's Ricardo? You said, oh no, not the show. Then you spit a little rap to me like this when I turned 26. I was like, oh shit. You said to me, remember what you said too. You said, my name is Lucy Kendrick. You introduced me, Kendrick. Usually I don't do this, but I see you and me, Kendrick. Lucy gave me no worries. Lucy got a million stories about these rappers that I came after when they was born. So Lucy's the devil. Lucy gonna fill your pockets. Lucy gonna move your mama out of Compton inside that gigantic mansion like I promised. Lucy just wants your trust and loyalty. Avoiding me is not so easy. I'm at these functions accordingly, Kendrick. Lucy don't slack a minute. Lucy will call you. Lucy gonna call you loose. Even when Lucy know you love your father, I loosely heard prayers on your first album, truly. Lucy don't mind, cause at the end of the day you'll pursue me. Lucy go get it. Lucy not timid. Lucy up front. Lucy got paperwork on top of paperwork. I want you to know that Lucy got you. All my life I've watched you. And now I'm all going up to sign this contract if it's possible. So, see? It's another, these songs, guys, I'm not making this up because this is a completely different song, that came out years. The first song came out in 1980, in the 80s. That song that I was quoting to you, the Suicidal Tendencies, it came out in like 89, 88 or something. This is 2015. So that's what I'm saying, that like a lot of these guys, bro, and this hurts me to say this, but a lot of these celebrities that you look up to, it's just like, damn, these guys are so talented. Yeah, but like most of them are probably, like, I don't know, bro. Most of them are not right with God. Let's just be real. And yeah, that's what I'm trying to say is like the concept of someone's song was sold to the I honestly believe is true in some sense. I could go on and on about other songs, but these are just two songs that I found. And yeah, you know, this it's just a lot of the times you hear it. Even Kanye West was talking about it. Said that he had to make a sacrifice. So it's like, you know, it's like in the occult, oftentimes, what I was found out when I was researching is that oftentimes it requires some sort of sacrifice, some sort of blood sacrifice, human sacrifice. You know, and these are some things that I wish I could say, you know, out loud, but I'll be like fucking, they'll think I'm crazy. You look at these artists, bro, a lot of the times, bro, like when they come out with huge contracts and stuff like that, one of the family members just happens to pass away, just happens to die. And, you know, you just gotta question and say like, yo, like, why is that? You know, why is there some sort of strange, why does it seem like there's some sort of strange correlation, you know? And yeah, man, that is really the truth, is that there's more to life than meets the eye. Not everything is just natural. There's also a spiritual aspect to a lot of things that goes on. So yeah, that's why like I kind of shy away from music now. You know, nowadays in my life, I kind of, even though like sometimes I think about going back into rap. Other times I'm like, yo, I don't even know if I want to do that. Like I kind of just want to. Sometimes I think like, you know, maybe I just want to go off and just go off cuff and just preach the word. You know, I don't want to be doing all this music shit, bro. Because shit, when you really start pulling back the layers and you start seeing the roots and what all this comes from, it's just like, man. Now I understand what the Bible says when Jesus says, if any man wants to come after me, let him deny himself, pick up his cross, and follow me. You know? Because that's really the juxtaposition, is that the devil will offer you these things in this temporary plane, but in exchange of what? Your soul? Whereas God will, you know, he'll have you might not get everything in this world per se, but your soul will be prospering. You'll be rich in spirit, you know? And that's kind of just what I don't know, bro. It's kind of what I wanted to say. It's like, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. You know, um, it's not to be too heavy, but just for me to get you guys to think, like, you know, 'cause a lot of you guys love music. I do too, and it's not just punk rock, it's not just rap. You know, it goes from everywhere. The Beatles, you know, the pop, Michael Jackson, like all these guys, bro. This is crazy. If you really do your research and you know try and tell these people these things at church, it's crazy how the church is like. You try and bring these things up, and they're just like, "Hey, you know, I don't think we should be listening to secular music," and they're like, "Oh, it's all good." God has made what's clean to one brother is clean to another brother. You know, the verse from Galatians, but it's like, bro, if you really do your research, you're misappropriating that scripture first of all. But I'm not gonna go into the semantics. You know, I just wanted to make this video on that concept. You know, the Faustian bargains, all these things, and I don't know. What do you guys think? You know, please like, subscribe, share. But I need you guys to know that there's a lot that goes on in this world that we don't see, and you know, I believe we are in the last days, and we do need to get right. I do need to get right with the Lord also. I'm not perfect. There's things in my life that I need to clean up, but I'm woke. I know at least I can at least see what is evil and what is good. I can see that. I can tell the difference between the light and the darkness. Some of you guys, you can't even tell the difference between the light and the darkness. Some of you guys are gonna hear this video and then you're gonna go directly back to just listening to the music that you listen to. You're gonna just wash it off. But I believe that God has given me a word for someone, and if you hear this, I feel like you should take it to the bank. I'm not gonna lie, you know what I mean? It's just, you know what I mean? Be aware of the wiles of Lucifer. He always puts the pretty face, you know what I mean? It's always the girl in the you know what I mean? Blonde hair, blue eyes, you know what I mean? It's the devil though. So you always have to be discerning. You have to say like, look, like look at the spiritual aspect. That's really what I'm just trying to say in this video. Because life doesn't work like that. It's not just about talent and hard work. But anyways, it's not just about talent and hard work. There's a lot of sacrifices, and unless a man lay down his life, you know, like everything was hinged on sacrifice. Salvation is hinged on sacrifice. It's not just free. And likewise, the musicians that you see on TV screens, you know what I mean, getting these Grammys, getting these awards, you have to ask yourself, what did they pay? Because Jesus said, what would it profit a man if he gains the whole world but he loses his soul? You have to ask, what did they pay for that? How do they get that? It's not just hard work, guys. Life does not work like you just work hard and no. There has to be a sacrifice. Everything is contingent upon sacrifices. God made this world and this universe to operate in such a way where you get one thing in exchange for another. You know, it's like you guys who like anime. You remember that freaking the Full Metal Alchemist, the law of equivalent exchange? Well, yeah, exactly. Apply that here. So, anyways, this video has been a lot longer than I wanted it to be. I haven't posted a video in a while. I'm sorry. Again, please like, subscribe, check out the music while it's there. I may continue to make music. I may not continue to make music. I don't know. I'm in the military now, so I gotta kind of study and work. But yeah. Anyways, all right. Peace.